And let's start with our outfit of the day. I'm going to wear this gorgeous bright red pencil dress. You're going to see in a bit, but it has the most beautiful, like, sexy split on one side. And actually, it's one of the reasons it convinced me to buy this dress, because the material is very stretchy, and because of this little split here, I can still bike with this dress. I absolutely refuse to take public transportation, especially now with COVID, so I really prefer to bike to work. Anywho, so this dress is from a brand called Closet London. Gorgeous brand. I've actually not snooped on their sales sections in a while, which reminds me I need to do so. I didn't purchase this dress from the website. One of my besties actually had purchased it for herself, but she decided not to keep it and she passed it on to me. I'm going to pair the dress with my gorgeous Michelle gold coin hoops from Ana Luisa, who I'm very happy to say have approached me again for a collaboration, which makes me really happy. I'm going to wear this beautiful ring. I think I mentioned this before. My uncle made this, and it comes in a set actually with earrings and this bracelet. Here we have the dress in its full glory. It's beautiful, and look at that sexy slit. Is it called a slit or a split? Someone needs to educate me. What I really love about it is that it's also made with like a relatively thick fabric, so it's perfect for this time of the year because it has actually gotten really cold in the Netherlands. Say hi to my hair. She and I have made a new agreement where I just let her do whatever the fuck she wants. Alright you guys, before we proceed with the eyes, I just wanted to do my face makeup with you and talk briefly about the new updates on the Pat McGrath holiday collection, because I spoke about it so much at length last time and there has been new information revealed in the meantime. By the way, this is Delphic by MAC, one of my favorite bronzers. So the spiel. I'm going to mainly comment on the quads and the highlighter because that's the only like new information that I've managed to gather in the meantime. The quads are probably going to be revealed in October. Like I said, I've already seen her like sneak peek like in the inspiration photos, but we haven't seen any swatches yet. So first of all, the price of these is not going to be $68. Like last year's quads, they're going to be priced at $58. And the reason for that is, most likely, these quads are just going to be her regular matte and metallic formula. They are not going to be special shades whatsoever. Like, I think possibly none of the eyeshadows in those quads are her special formula. Hear me out. If you go on Temptalia's website with the reveal of the collection, she has updated quite a lot of info in the meantime. And you can also see the names of the eyeshadows, and she actually mentions that one of the eyeshadows is a repeat. It's the shade Blood Rush, which is originally in her Decadence palette. It's that warm, dark, plummy purple. So, we already know that one of these shades is definitely a repeat, and we know that it definitely isn't a special shade. Grabbing Truth from Nabla Cosmetics. We also know that the quads are made in the US. Normally her 6-pan palettes are made in the US. That is not in any way a bad thing. It doesn't mean that they're going to be bad quality. It just is another strong indicator that they're probably not going to be any special shades. And the last and like strongest reasoning that I have in believing that there are not going to be any like VR or Blitz or Astro shades is the fact that if you look at the names of all these eyeshadows, because they have been revealed on Temptalia's website, none of them is VR, Astral or Blitz. They're just like regular eyeshadow names. Taking the Skin Fetish Highlighter Trio. That's not to say that these are going to be bad quality, or I think yes, it is disappointing that there aren't going to be any special shades, because I know that you love those, I love those, pretty much everyone is crazy about those, and that's one of the reasons I was so incredibly excited for last year's holiday collection, because they were all special shades. But maybe we OD'd on those last year, and this year she just wants to, you know, keep it a bit more toned down. So that's the deal on those. And the highlighter. The price of the highlighter has been revealed, and it is a whopping $65. So prepare your asses. We're going to be violated and defiled from behind. The details on this though are that it's going to come in like special weighted, very luxurious packaging. And something that I had actually been wondering about, because I couldn't like quite understand why she will only be offering one shade of highlighter. She's an inclusive brand. Apparently we're talking about some sort of like new and special formulation where you have particles which illuminate every skin tone. I am very curious about that. I can already tell you that since I'm probably not going to be picking up all the quads, they're much less interesting to me now that they're not going to be any special shades in them. I definitely want to pick up the highlighter because that seems to me like one of the most like special parts of this collection. Let's move on to the eyes. At number 11 on our ranking we have the Dark Galaxy palette from last year's Star Wars collection. To the overjoy of everyone who didn't manage to grab the Star Wars collection last year, she now offers that Celestial Divinity Mega Mothership palette, which contains both Star Wars collections, plus an additional 6 shades for the modest price of $78. So these are the shades in the Dark Galaxy palette. Every single shade in this palette is stunning. What I want to do today is a red smoky eye. I'm wearing, as you guys already saw, this gorgeous bright red dress, and the previous time I wore it I did pair it with a red lipstick, because of course, but since today we're working with this palette I want to actually do a red smoky eye. I want to use this shade, the shade Saturnalia, which is stunning. I want to use this shade, the shade Cosmic, which is, as I've mentioned before, the closest you're going to get to one of her VR shades. And that's the catch. You could do a gorgeous look pairing these shades with the dark purple from this palette, but I actually want to keep it, I think, a little bit simpler. I just want to put browns to my crease, so I am going to grab for my Bronze Seduction palette and I'm going to go in with this shade and this shade first in my outer corner and crease, and then I'm going to go in with the red all over my lid and the Cosmic shade towards my inner corner and like inner half of the lid. I'm going to start off by layering the two brown mattes from the Bronze Seduction palette, and since we have made it kind of a thing now to have story time in these videos, for today's story time I have a little bit of a rant for you. I wanted to share my experience with the Vinted app. I don't know whether you guys are familiar with it. The app is actually pretty heavily advertised, like we get advertisements for it on TV. So the Vinted app is an app which you basically can use to resell your clothes. Like if you have clothes that you're tired of, or you don't fit into them anymore, or for whatever reason you just want to pass them on but they're not like at the stage where they need to be thrown away, you can do so by using the Vinted app. I think it works internationally. I'm actually not sure about like North America. I know that within Europe it basically works in every country, like people from other countries can shop on this app. And the idea is that you upload photos of the product, you put a price on it, and then people can contact you to negotiate a price or to, you know, immediately offer you to buy the item. And then they pay for the shipping. They get a variety of shipping options, which range from something a little more expensive like DHL to something as cheap as you deliver it to someone's home and then someone picks it up from there. You know, nothing wrong with that. It's just that when you sell the items, basically you have to like run a marathon because you are going to maybe have to ship them from different locations. The reason I want to give it a try, so the main reason I have a lot of clothes to get rid of is my post-maternity bod. Nothing is wrong with my body. I knew that pregnancy might change my body for the long haul, and I was okay with that. But the thing is, I didn't like change dramatically, I just changed a tiny bit. Just enough to not fit in a bunch of my clothes. And especially the types of clothes which have like a tight closure around the like chest area. For whatever reason I like expanded just a tiny bit, just enough to not be able to like zip up clothes anymore, or you know, if I zip them up I need to reconsider whether I want to breathe. So I got really excited and I uploaded like 1 or 2 dresses. And the thing is, I don't have like a luxury like wardrobe. I don't have designer clothes or anything. I shop in the tier of, I don't know, Zara, Mango, or say I put them for what I would consider relatively reasonable prices. And the first item that I sold was a really cute dress, which I only put up for €5, and I basically sold that dress within 5 minutes. And I was like, oh, this is exciting, let me put up more clothes. So I took a bunch of pictures of other clothes that I had in my collection. Not everything, by far not everything that I need to get rid of, like maybe 1/3. By the way, I'm going to leave like my page, my handle in the description box. You can check it out. So I was like, okay, now let's just wait to see if I get more offers. I got a few more offers, and that's where things went wrong. So I have had already this experience several times, but basically, let's say for instance, I have this dress from Mango, which is very popular, people are really into it, it gets favorited all the time, which is like pretty much like this dress, like a tight pencil elastic type of dress in this gorgeous like burgundy red wine type of red, and I put it up for €7. And then I started getting offers like €4.50 or €5, and I was like, really? You're negotiating with me for €7? Fine. And then I was like, you know what, let's just play, you know, the negotiation game. They're offering me like around €5, and I'm going to say 6. And in both cases, both girls were like, nah, with shipping it gets too expensive for me. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me now? Are you fucking negotiating with me for €1? €1 is going to make such a dramatic difference in your life? I don't fucking think so. And like the way they were putting it, like, but if you add the shipping of €3, then it gets too expensive for me. And I was like, I'm sorry, should I put the dress in an envelope, throw some extra cash for you, and then send it your way? Because it really sounded like it. It really sounded like I should either sell them, like give them away for free, or maybe like even throw some extra money just for good measure. I have this other skirt which I'm actually selling for €20. It's a gorgeous like A-line skirt that I bought from Top Vintage, which sells like more retro vintage type of clothes, and it is this beautiful A-line skirt with cats on it. And I put that skirt up for, let me interrupt myself just for a second. I'm going to go in with glitter glue. Okay, going to use my finger to apply the gorgeous metallic red shade with stunning like pink and red sparkles to it. I bought that skirt for at least, I want to say 45 to €50. It was not cheap. And I hadn't worn that skirt all that many times, so it was basically almost new, and I'm like very careful with my clothes. Like most of my clothes, even after like a decade, can look as good as new. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to put it for €20 because I really don't feel like I'm willing to part with it for less. And I've already received several offers for this skirt, and pretty much everyone has knocked off the price to like €12, 40% off the skirt. And I was also doing like Mariam style, some really stupid calculations in my mind. I was like, okay, let's say I put up 2 pieces, each of them for €5. I'm grabbing the shade Cosmic into my inner corner, and I'm also going to layer it a little bit over the red shade because it gives the most beautiful like depth and sparkle to the red shade. So I was like, okay, let's say I sell 2 pieces of clothes for a whopping €10 total. And then the buyers actually select different types of shipping methods, so I have to go to 2 different places to ship them. Let's say it cost me approximately half an hour to get to each of these places. So in total I would have spent an hour just in like dealing with the shipping. I get paid, let's say, on average, as a postdoc, I think it's a bit more, but let's say for the sake of the argument that I'm being paid around €20 an hour. You can do the math that if I sell those pieces and I make €10, I've still lost money in terms of time, because I'm still on a €10 loss, you know what I mean? I'm going to find like a store here in the city which sells second-hand clothes, and of course they're also going to make much more profit from selling my clothes, but I'm hoping that my clothes will be dealt with in a bit more of a dignified manner than, you know, negotiating for scraps. You know what, we can incorporate a touch of that purple on my lower lash line. So what I was saying, I feel like if you have maybe more expensive like designer clothes to sell, this app might be very nice, a good way to, you know, give your clothes a second chance of being enjoyed by somebody else and actually making some cash out of it. But for someone in my tier, I just don't feel like it's worth it. It seems more like a waste of my time. I am going to take the beautiful purple shade. I feel like my lighting all of a sudden became very bright and I'm like really washed out. I'm sorry about that. So this is the final look with the Dark Galaxy palette from Pat McGrath. I really enjoy how it turned out. I paired it with one of her lip fetish balms. This is in the shade Dark Devotion, which has the slightest like berry tinge to it. You can tell that it's not a very pigmented lip balm, definitely much less pigmented compared to her Flash 6 lip balm, which I adore. But I think my eyes are fairly strong, so I don't need to really put too much accent on my lips. As usual, it was a pleasure to hang out with you. I hope you enjoyed our look with the Dark Galaxy palette. We're going to see each other next week for number 10, which is the Dark Star palette. And after that, we're finally heating up the top 10 and all the Mothership palettes. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of my face, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!